started working with Melanie Greene and R.O. Anderson about a year ago. We put a quote proposal together for them for a dredging project up at Lake Tahoe. The nice thing about WETLAB and our services is we'll gladly go through our clients' permits to make sure that everything lines up, everything makes sense to us before we start our project. And in this case, it didn't, simply. There was a lot of testing requested in her permit that was more geared towards drinking waters, and we, with Melanie, went to her regulator and talked through it. We tried to figure out why she was running drinking water parameters on her dredging material, on her dredging waters, and we ended up having her permit altered and changed and cut back. It lowered the price for her. It made a lot more sense to us, and moving into the project, everyone felt a little better about it.
So during my pre-project preparation, I reached out to a number of labs to develop a cost and budget to present to the Tahoe Keys Property Owners Association and their board, to explain to them what the costs and requirements are for the multiple permits for this project. And during my outreach, WETLAB personnel, specifically Logan Greenwood, he was the most responsive and, in my opinion, the most professional. He helped me develop a complex budget in a way that was understandable to an HOA board.
Later in the summer, the dredging had kicked off and had been going great. There were no delays due to lab issues, which is always a positive. And Melanie had seemed pretty happy with everything so far. No issues arose. But towards the end of the summer, her governing agency ended up using her and R.O. Anderson as a poster child for a new extraction method that was more geared towards marshlands in the East Coast, but was implemented over in Tahoe as a good representation of soluble aluminum release into water from like dredged material. This extraction was not common. We had to locate a subcontracting lab who could perform this more obscure extraction, which was done. We found a lab in the Bay Area who could perform it, and WETLAB ended up working very closely with this subcontractor, so we could all hit the very tight turnaround times that Melanie required for this project.
In the Lake Tahoe Basin, we have very stringent state water quality objectives, and in response to that, we have very low reporting limits. Many labs cannot meet those reporting limits, or I've had projects in the past where they were unaware of these lower reporting limits, and so I received data results that were not in compliance with my permit. WETLAB staff identified this and helped me work with specific EPA methods, specifically total nitrogen. We worked within those methods to honor the holding times and preservation times for the samples, and that was extremely important in meeting our reporting and monitoring obligations to our multiple permits.
Working with Melanie and R.O. Anderson as a whole was a great experience. They were very professional, and I believe we developed a great working relationship going forward.
I had a very positive and professional experience working with WETLAB. In all honesty, they were one of the most positive parts of this project, and I would definitely recommend WETLAB.